Hi guys, welcome to the channel. It's so nice to have you all back. Today I'm going to be telling you everything you need to know about playing Shadow Priest in Shadowlands. We're going to talk talents, which covenant you should join, how to gear for Castle Nathria, all of it. I'm really excited guys, and I guess the—
Begone, foul witch! We'll have none of your heresy around here. These noble warriors aren't interested in any of your Shadow the Hedgehog garbage. They're here to learn how to become noble brothers of the Adeptus Astartes and fight in the name of the God Emperor of... No, wait, that's something else, isn't it? Okay, let's try again. They're here to learn how to be noble paladins of the Holy Light. Yeah, that's the one. Will this class be for you? Well, it better be, otherwise I'll have you burned at the stake. Now let's change the background to something a little more fitting. Excellent. Welcome, heroes, and strap yourselves in. My name is Vulgrin. Let's go to church. The Paladin is a class steeped in history when it comes to the Warcraft universe, and it's insanely popular. No surprises there. Getting to play as an armoured knight, annihilating demons and undead left and right with holy power? What's not to love? It's massively important lore-wise too. I would say it's easily the class which defines the Alliance, with it even having been exclusive to that faction in the vanilla days. The significance of Paladins goes well beyond the Alliance, however. Many of the most notable characters from the Warcraft mythos are Paladins. Let me name a few. Obviously you've got Uther the Lightbringer, the first and most renowned of all the Paladins of the Silver Hand, who strove all his life to embody justice and honour, and even died for it, sacrificing his own life in defence of his people. And how was he rewarded in the afterlife? By losing his gains and being turned into a manlet. You've got Arthas, Prince of Lordaeron, and Uther's student, if you'd forgotten, aka the Lich King, after he realised Ret DPS was F tier and re-rolled. You've got Lady, I committed war crimes but now feel bad and have seen the light, Liadrin, leader of the Cindereye Blood Knights. And you've got Tyrion Fordring, one of my favourite characters who got done so dirty by Blizzard that I might as well just show a bowl of pea soup here, because let's face it, that's what he got turned into. You've got this burnt calamari guy. And hey, even Prince Charming is arguably a paladin now. Yes, I get that he always was a priest, but now he wears plate armour, and when he got absolutely bodied by Sourfang, he was trying to fight using his dad's sword. Badly, I might add. So yeah, paladins are awesome and central to the lore of Warcraft, especially in Shadowlands, because let's face it, Bastion, the Kyrian, is a paladin's wet dream, we all know it. But what about how it plays? Well, I guess it's time to talk about the 3 paladin specializations. In the healing role, we have the Holy Paladin. Now these guys are my boys. Why Vulgrin, you ask? Simple. These guys are all about the aesthetics. What makes me say that? Well, look at them. They walk around in this awesome looking plate armour like they're about to kick down the doors of fucking Anor Londo. But in actual fact, they spend all day standing in the back line with a book, singing hymns and popping wings. They're basically a holy priest, except they don't want to look shit, and I can respect that. For tanks, you've got Protection, a spec dedicated to that most central of paladin themes, being a massive white knight, protecting your collectively shit raid team of miladies from the foul advances of the enemy. You also do the Captain America thing too, which is cool, I guess. Finally, the DPS spec. Okay, so are you the type of guy who is always tempted to comment Deus Vult in all caps on any Sabaton music video? Does your knowledge of the Crusades come from watching Kingdom of Heaven many times and playing For Honor? Are you using some version of one of the following weapons on your transmog? The Ashbringer, Hammer of the Naru, or Quell Dalar? If so, you might be what is commonly referred to as a Ret Paladin. I've been told that the Ret part is short for Retribution. I'm honestly not so sure. I have nothing more to say about this spec, other than if you duel a good one, you will lose. And by the way, as a zealous paladin, I am sure you are in need of spiritual nourishment, and a good way to gain that is through checking out the Vulgrin WoW Patreon page. After all, I am clearly a noble paladin myself, and therefore in a position to grant you boons. But you see, I need nourishment too, but of the material kind, i.e. copious buckets of Kalimdor fried chicken and enough Pacific Punch flavoured monster to bring on renal failure. If you're interested, have a look at the page, link down below. Preach it, brothers. Cheers. Now if you've seen any of my other videos, you know that aesthetics mean a lot to me. You're talking to someone who, despite intending to raid at heroic and maybe mythic level, will pick his main based on preparing a transmog before even having created the character. I'm not well, I have a problem. Somebody please send help. So what do I think about the Paladin's cosmetics? The beautifully crafted suits of chivalric holy armor, the powerful spell effects infused with the strength of the light, the wings. Well, you see, these days with the, how can I put it, consistent colour scheme of Paladins, it's hard not to see them and be reminded of, well... I think you get the idea. Now, I mentioned earlier that Paladins had some absolutely incredible looking gear, and that is 100% truth. To this day, I consider the Judgment set to be one of, if not the best looking set in World of Warcraft. And that came out 15 years ago. The problem I have with the aesthetics of the Paladin today is the same problem I have with the overall theme of the class, and why I doubt I'd play one in the current game, at least from an RPG perspective. You see, when I first got into Warcraft, Paladins were these righteous crusaders whose main duty was to destroy evil through a combination of unshakable faith and supreme martial ability. To me, the archetypical Paladin is a human of the Order of the Silver Hand, smashing through hordes of undead and demons like the fucking Doomslayer. I mean, the very concept of a Retribution Paladin speaks of an unstoppable force which cannot be bought or corrupted. And a lot of these motifs are still part of what makes a Paladin, don't get me wrong. But the problem I have is the change Blizzard slowly made to the game, moving away from what I would consider to be traditional fantasy themes towards more cosmic, almost science fiction-like concepts. The light is no longer this mysterious power at the centre of a religion quite clearly inspired by medieval Catholicism. It's now just another energy source with its own heroes and villains. Some might say that's more unique and nuanced, but I think it just makes Paladins another type of warrior who happen to draw upon light magic rather than say Fel or Arcane. I mean, if you were a Paladin rocking up to the Scarlet Monastery back in the day, everyone would be all like, "Welcome, honourable battle brother, let us march out and make the enemies of the light repent!" But now you turn up at Stormwind to see Turalyon, who is dressed like he's designed to guide traffic at night on the highway, and he's like, "Ah, welcome. Join me in my army of spacefaring bananadins, including a literal demon who is now yellow too. We all fight in the name of the giant BDSM enthusiastic interstellar lamp GF." It's just, it doesn't do it for me anymore, boys. But who gives a fuck about that when you can bubble or lay on hands your way out of any trouble, and when every time you pop Avenging Wrath, the enemies of justice shit their pants like they just drank 4 litres of Kaja Cola? Sure, you're supposed to be a knight, i.e. a mounted warrior, but your mighty steed is less of a Ferrari and more of a reliant Robin. But you can always play Night Fae though, right? Who cares about any of that? Because when you finally catch up to the foe, it's only ending one way. Want to be a supreme PvP overlord? Get yourself a Paladin, my friend, and watch as your Ashbringer wielding behemoth demolishes everyone before you. Just don't be surprised if they turn into a pile of salt rather than ash. Paladins have that effect on many heroes. There you have it, my band of merry men. I hope you enjoyed. I have a soft spot for the Pallies, I must confess. It was my first ever main after all, way back in the days of Indiana Jones and the Burning Crusade. Good times. Now if you liked the video, please consider subscribing to the channel, and remember to do the bell thing, it helps apparently. I've done several other class videos, so if you enjoyed this one and fancy a laugh, check them out. Alright guys, ta-ta for now, be well, and as always, thank you very much for watching.